Good afternoon, all you cool cats. It's been a long time since we talked, isn't it? I know. Well, here we are with a little summer update. I know. People want answers. And I'm going to do my best to try to give you some answers that I can to help you think about the reopening plan for camp. Let's start off with cleaning and sanitation. So every day, of course, our classrooms will be cleaned by our custodial staff. Teachers will also have a little spray bottle that they can clean up any wet sneezes that may happen during the course of the class period. Also, common areas such as doorknobs, the light switch, and any type of shared equipment will also be wiped down by our custodians and our teachers each and every day, and then also in between class periods. It'll be kind of on a as-needed basis. We've also purchased some hand sanitizer stations, little automatic ones in the hallway. Something I'm really excited about this year is that we are bringing back villages and teams. So, in each grade level, there'll be a blue team and then there'll be a gold team. So like a 6th grade blue and then a 7th grade blue and an 8th grade blue and then of course a gold, the same. And that's also going to change up a little bit with our bell schedule. So people that are on the blue side, then they'll change, for 5 minutes. And then when their tardy bell rings, then the gold side, they'll change. So going to be less traffic in the hall at one time. That's also going to help a lot with lockers. So when you think about the lockers on the hallway, like locker number 1 will be a blue, locker number 2 will be a gold person, locker number 3 will be a blue, then a gold, then a blue. You get the drift. You got it. So, whenever they're changing classes, even though all the blues are changing at one time, their locker won't be directly beside another person that's also changing classes. And, still, kids will have a locker plan. So, you may not have to go to your locker at the end of every class period, or even at all, I guess, if you have one of those nice little trapper keepers to keep all your stuff in. Now let's talk about lunch. I've got hearts above my head because food's one of my passions. I love to eat. Sometimes the kids will eat lunch in the classrooms, and other times they will be permitted to eat in the lunchroom. So just probably every other day they'll rotate. Our students will travel to the lunchroom, put their little coat in, get their lunch, and then they'll go back to the classroom, unless it's their turn to eat in the lunchroom. We also encourage you, just like always, if you're going to have your child to bring their lunch from home, then they need to bring their lunch from home. They can also do that. There'll just be a specific time during the lunch period class that they'll be instructed that they can go to their lockers and get their lunch box, and then they can bring it back to their class. That are sitting in the lunchroom at the lunchroom tables, then they'll be sitting on one side, so they won't be sitting directly across from another student, because of course they're going to have to take their mask off to eat, unless some of you have found a cool mask that has a mouth opening that you can put your food in, but then that kind of defeats the whole purpose, I guess. So they'll be doing that. And I know a lot of people were kind of upset when they talked about eating lunch in the classroom and eating lunch in the hallways, but I mean, hallway lunch can be lit. You think about a kid can sit down and just talk to their friend and sit Indian style. I love to sit Indian style and just be able to just socialize. It doesn't matter. Kids don't mind. I promise you, your kid will be fine. We're going to take good care of them when it comes to lunch and it comes to eating. It's all going to be nice and sanitary. Let me talk to the remote learners. So, I know you've been waiting on a lot of information about remote learning, but there's just not a lot of information to give you right now. So if I could just help you a little bit to try to make some headway in that decision. So here's what I do know, is that remote learners, that's the term if your child is not going to step foot back in Clear Middle School, then you're going to be using a program called Schools PLP. You can look it up on YouTube. I think I found something that I guess they did at another school, and it kind of shows you what it looks like. That's what you'll be using. You'll be monitored by a Clear Middle School teacher, but it's going to think about college and you doing an online class, that's what it's going to look like. So you're not going to have instruction from a teacher that's here at Clear Middle School. However, this CaMS teacher is going to be in charge of assigning you stuff. So let's say one of our handy dandy CaMS kids is slacking on their work. Then this CaMS teacher is going to email the parent and they're going to email the kid and they're going to be like, hey, get it together. You hadn't done any work. You're in the red. You need to be logging on and you need to be paying attention and focusing, kid. That's what they're going to do. That's their role. If your child doesn't understand or they need some help, then your child during normal school hours will also be able to just email the teacher and say, hey, I am struggling here. I need a little bit of help. Can you please, please, please help me a little bit? But that's during normal school hours. They'll be available to, they can do these modules when it's not school time, of course, because it's just going to be assigned to them, but it's designed for them to do during 7 to 3, because that's when the teacher is going to be available, just if you need some help or if they need to reset. A lot of questions also about, my child has a 504 or they have an IEP. How are they going to be supported? Well, we'll follow those plans, and once your child is actually put into the school's PLP platform, then we'll see what we need to do instructionally to help them. Also with GRC. So if your child is one of our gifted ed students, then we'll also address that inside of that platform. And then, like I said, there is a real teacher here available. So if you feel like my child is not being challenged, they are way smarter than this, then our teachers can give them a little bit of an extension activity that can challenge them a little bit more, so that we make sure that, we're keeping them on the right track. Now let's talk about masks and face coverings. Well, students will have to wear a mask. And you can also wear those cool little neck gaiter things. Makes my neck hot, but that's kind of easy to pull up and pull down. Now, so that means on the first day of school, your kid's gonna need to come with a mask on. So you have plenty of time right now to try to find you a cool mask or to find you a regular mask to wear to school, because you're going to need one. Let's talk about what can be on the front of this mask. Well, it needs to follow the dress code, and just, nothing crazy on the front of that mask. No, nothing violent, no crazy language on the front of the mask. I don't want to have to be the mask police. None of us want to have to be the mask police. So, just get you a cute little mask, a cool mask, and then just come on to school. You don't have to send me pictures of what's the mask. Can it look like this? Can it be too short? The great thing about it is there's no thigh meat in the mask. So, just get you a cute little mask. We're going to wear it during school. Everybody's going to get some mask breaks throughout the day. So, we're going to be fine. It's going to be great. Miscellaneous items that we should talk about before we get on up out of here. Number one is parents, please, please, please. If your child tells you in the mornings that they don't feel well, don't give them Motrin and send them on to school. If they're sick, then, really pay attention and listen. And I know it happens every single year, every single school. No kid gets sick until like the first day of school, or until they get here off the bus, and then their stomach starts hurting, and at that point we don't know if they're really sick or if it's just nerves because it's the first day of school and they're worried about if they got on a cool outfit or what. But if their temperature is 100 degrees or more, check that out. Please check that out for us. Let's talk about water bottles. You can bring a water bottle or a thermos. If you're going to do that, please write your kid's name on that thermos. There's probably going to be 75 Kaylas, 425 Ashleys. There's going to be a couple of Patricks and some Johns or Jonathans. Write their name on the stuff, because we can't be trying to decipher if it's theirs. And Walmart is going to sell more than just that one pink and white one that you buy, so we can't say automatically that the other person stole it, because they sell a whole bunch of the same kind at Walmart, because it's Walmart, and Target does the same thing, oddly enough. So please write your kid's name on their water bottle. Please help us all out. And also, please just put water in that, not juice. Because if we spill that, everybody's sticky at that point. Please, what am I supposed to do if your child's juice in their thermos that we thought was water spills on another kid, and now it's on their mask? Now the other kid got a sticky mask if they take it off at lunch. And it's just a lot. It's just a lot. Just water. Please put us some water in, and go ahead and put them a little ice in there. That way it'll stay cold throughout the day. Nobody wants hot water. Go ahead and do that for them, please. Please help them out. Let's talk about visitors to the main office. If you need something, it's probably best for you to call and make an appointment, unless, of course, you're coming to check out your child and you're going to come check them out. But another good reason for a parent to come to the school is a parent conference. Well, lucky for you, you don't have to get off work anymore for those parent conferences. Since we're going to be in teams, now you'll have the opportunity to have a parent conference with all the teachers, and all of them are going to have the same planning period. You just contact one of the teachers and say, hey, I'd like a conference with one of y'all so I can check on my child. Then they'll send you a link for a virtual meeting, and you just log on from the comfort of your office at work, and we promise not to tell. And then you can just talk to all the teachers, and if you request for the kid to be there, they can go and get him too out of PE, and they can bring him to that meeting. That'll work. Is supplies. On our website, we do have the supply list for each grade level posted, so you can check that out to see what supplies you're going to need. If it gets to be like, I don't know, the day before school, and you're like, oh my God, we forgot to go to Walmart, we don't have any supplies. It's the same stuff. Composition book, a couple of pens, some pencils, some color pencils, some markers. We can't allow kids to share supplies. It's inevitable. Somebody is going to forget a pen or a pencil, and they're going to say, hey, dude, can I borrow it? We're not policing that. If you don't want your child to share, do not share. Do not give anybody a pencil. Or if you tell them, if you're going to be a nice friend, let them have it. Give it to them and just let them have it. And that is your pen and your pencil. I'm just saying we can't police supplies because I don't know if they've been sneezing and snotting all day, underneath that mask on these pencils and pens. And you just imagine if a kid opens that mask and just sneezes, and then they're going to be like, and they're going to wipe it off, and then they're going to pull one of their pencils out. But then your kid is going to be like, can I borrow a pencil? And then that kid's going to be like, sure. They're going to give them one out their pocket. So, and it's probably the one that's been sneezed and snotted on. But, teachers don't know that. They can't keep up with that. So it's best if everybody just comes with their own stuff. It's going to be best practices. Well, that's all I have for today. And, there's a document that I'm also going to put out that's going to have a few more things. I just thought that, we do this video version for parents that had a couple of questions and, didn't want to read through something else. Or for the kids, because usually that's what these videos are for. So I just want my kids to be informed. Parents, of course, all of this could change tomorrow or 5 minutes from now. And, we'll try our best to keep you informed all over again. And, as we get more information, we'll send it out to you. Don't forget to sign up for the listserv. Thank you.